Let's head further south now, to the lower east of the North Island, and the normally quiet town of Pongaroar in Tarara District. Over the Easter weekend, it turns into a bustling hub of activity. You'll find hunters and farmers lining the main road to have a wide range of game animals weighed as part of the annual Pongaroar hunting competition. It was there that Janina Schwanneker met a keen pig hunter.
This red fellow, ugliest head, and I measure the pig's tusks as well. I'm a straight-out pig hunter, so I like the pigs.
Peter Sorensen has been judging the Pongaroar hunting competition in rural Tarara District for 14 years, almost as long as the event's been going. The annual Easter event brings together hundreds of hunters, farmers, locals and spectators to raise funds for the grassroots rescue helicopter. There's a steady stream of utes bringing in their game to be weighed and judged.
It's a big day, they've got 350 entries.
What are your thoughts on the event? Obviously it's an important fundraiser for the local rescue service, but also a good way to get everyone together, I suppose.
And these deer numbers need to be kept down a bit. They're just out of control everywhere. And it's good for the locals and more than locals as well. I heard
Did you get a few visitors? Or?
I heard yesterday on the radio, going home from hunting, that somebody from Coromandel had
driven down to come and see.
So must be going to bring an animal down
to weigh in.
Must have entered because that finished a week ago.
I suppose some good prizes up for grabs as well.
There's plenty opportunity to win. Adults are judged on the best and heaviest red deer, fallow deer, pigs and goats they bring in. For the kids, there's prizes for the best possums, turkeys, rabbits and hares. There's also an obstacle course, which is where I'm headed to next. The kids choose between a dead pig or rabbit, which they carry on their back around the course, jumping hay bales and pallets, weaving between cones and fences, and then finally clearing the creek.
Go, go, go! Woo! 22.87.
8-year-old Sid Elmers has already had his turn around the track.
It was a bit heavy. It took me a couple of seconds to do it.
What was the hardest part of the track, you reckon?
Probably getting over those high things.
Yeah, I could imagine having to jump over them. Was this the pig you carried here, this little spotted one?
Yeah, I carried the spotted one.
Oh, nice. Do you know what your time was?
No, not sure.
I bet it was fast though.
Yeah.
Did you enter anything in the weigh-in competition as well?
I only entered like a hare and a turkey.
That's pretty good. That's a good effort.
Right,
Yeah. Do you guys want to add any comments or anything? Or?
Oh no, he shot his first hare, didn't you, mate?
What was your first hare?
And I shot 2 turkeys.
Dad Jason Elmers is a keen hunter himself and says the competition helps with conservation efforts on farm.
Me and my family have been farming here for a while now, so fairly local.
And not your first time at the Pongaroar event as well. What's brought you guys out this weekend?
Just to support the community with the events that they do put on, to try and stop the community fading. It's always good to come and support whatever's happening, but yeah, also to keep on top of the pests and get the kids involved in these things, hunting and gathering. It is a way of life. You can get something out of it to eat.
I hear Sid's had a pretty successful weekend. Have you put in any entries? Or?
No, Sid's had a great weekend. He's shot his first hare and his first couple of turkeys on his own this weekend, but myself, I didn't get the opportunity to see anything.
How long have you guys been hunting for, I suppose, and Sid's just starting out, really?
You've just been hunting on and off, throughout your life, really. My father's quite involved with the local gun club, a lot of claybird shooting down there and also rifles and things. So, yeah, hunting's always been there because, there's always stuff that you don't want on your farm.
What is the worst pest in these kind of areas? Is it pigs or is it? I hear the possums have made a bit of a resurgence recently.
Well, yeah, obviously, I guess you see the physical damage that the pigs leave behind when they've been there, which clearly isn't helped by them planting half the outfit in pine trees, which gives them a good place to hide and come out to our clear country to make a mess. But I guess the pigs leave the biggest mess behind that you can't see, but yeah, going forward with the possums and stoats and things like that, the TB and stuff like that's going to come a bit of more of an issue now.
Got to keep on top of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Utes continue to wind down the usually quiet main street of Pongaroar, waiting for their turn to weigh in. I check back in with Peter to see how the judging's going.
Wouldn't have much steering with all that load on the back, would it?
Yeah, no, it looked pretty heavy, eh? That's a beaut. Some pretty big fat fallow, I thought, and obviously a very good sized red. Seen some good heads starting to come in, some good antlers.
Yeah, it's one beautiful red head there. 14 pointer.
Oh, nice.
Really even, so he's by far the best at the moment.
For some of our listeners who might not know Peter, could you tell me a little bit about the difference, at least with the deer? So what makes a red deer a red deer? The colouring of its coat, and they're obviously the largest of the species?
Yeah, well, it's just like sheep and cattle. You have different breeds. And yeah, the red deer used to be dominant around here, but slowly but surely the fallow have taken over. There's nobody shot them for a start because they were just new in the area, and now they're everywhere. So.
And so fallow deer are a little bit different from red deer, a little bit smaller. They
Yeah, a
tend to
little
have
bit, quite a lot smaller.
the spotted coat and the thicker antlers,
No,
or wider.
they have palms. They grow big palms here, and the red deer doesn't do that. That's the difference, really. It's not.
Do you think one tastes better? Or all taste the same?
They're all pretty nice.
Called the Pongaroar, the event coincides with the roar, the mating season where stags become more vocal. It's been a good weekend for Marama Kariana from Ohanga Station, who bagged the big red deer Peter pointed out earlier.
We did pretty well.
What did you get in the bag this weekend?
I managed to shoot a 13-pointer stag.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what he came in at, or?
I think it was 120.
I reckon you've got a shot at maybe the top.
Hopefully.
Yeah, from what I've seen.
That's the aim.
Yeah. Have you been hunting a long time?
Well, actually, since I've been about 7 years, since I've been with my partner, yep.
Oh, nice.
I was a city girl, but not anymore.
Pretty good shot, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of experience.
A lot of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. How are you feeling about what you got this weekend?
Hopeful, actually. I'm pretty stoked about our catch, so surely we get some.
Yeah. Nice weekend for you guys. Bit of fun out on the farm as well.
Long days, long nights.
Nice.
Start early, finish late.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about your stag? Where were you? What was the time of day?
It was actually a night hunt.
Oh,
just
nice.
before the sun went down. Yep. But we had been stalking it for a while though. Took a while to come out again. He came in, he's chasing hinds, come in, come out, but yep, managed to finally get him.
Was he pretty noisy still?
Yep.
End of the roar?
Yep, he was definitely still noisy and he had heaps of girlfriends.
Obviously important part of pest management on farm and things like that as well.
Yep.
How many did you guys get all up over the weekend?
We got the 4, got a couple more goats and like an extra, I think we got 2 reds, 2 fallow and a bull. Got a good bull too, yeah.
The event's about much more than just hunting though, as organiser Abbey Maher tells me.
My name's Abbey Maher. I moved out here in 91 with my parents and have been away and done my thing boarding school and shepherding and come back, and now I'm farming myself with my parents out the back of the boonies out here. The chopper actually means a lot to our family. I think there's like 1 or 2 of us that haven't been in the rescue chopper, so we're I suppose, a little bit being farmers and motorbikes and tractors and just silly accidents. We have relied on the rescue helicopter. And yeah, there's a few people around here that would be telling a different story if we didn't have it. It means a lot. They are amazing people.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Pongaroar event? How did it start and what does it involve?
Okay, so it started 2011. A couple of guys were involved with a hunting competition in Paeatua and they thought, well, why not bring one to Pongaroar? So they got one kicked into life out here, added a 3rd mate in with them, and those 3 and I'm picking their wives as well, would have jumped in and yeah, they've got something started and thought we might as well do something for the rescue helicopter because we use it so much out here.
So people have all weekend to try and get the entries in?
We have a cut-off about a week beforehand, and then we have a few days grace period where they can enter late it costs them a little bit extra, and then we have a cut-off that was on Wednesday for the entries. There's a lot of spreadsheet stuff to do for our lovely secretary lady, so that way she's got all organised. And the thing is, we want to be organised too, because everybody in the committee hunts for the comp. We all enter, we all hunt, and so we try and have that stuff organised at least a few days beforehand.
So the different categories people can enter: red, fallow deer, goats, pigs, anything else?
Yep. So the open have got their red, their fallow, their boar and a goat. Those same categories again for the junior, and then we combine all those people and we'll have an average weight for a boar, average weight for a red stag, and also average weight for the fallow. Then anybody that brings in their deer heads, we have a best red head, best fallow head, and we also have best tusks for the boars. And one we threw in a little while ago to kind of promote it a little bit is the ugliest deer head. So people are culling those because it seems a bit of a shame to shoot a nice one, and it's quite nice watching them cruise around. And then the kids have obviously got their rabbits, hares, turkeys and possums. And then at the end of it we have what we call the raw four. So if you team of you want to get together and try and get, we combine your weights from your heaviest red, your heaviest fallow, and your pig and your goat, and those all turn into points, and whoever's got the most points across those four animals wins the raw four. So that's quite a good one to win.
The line just doesn't stop with all of the utes and things.
It goes down, then it flares up again. So
it's good.
It's good.
Some pretty impressive stuff coming through as well from what I've seen.
No, we're actually been quite lucky this year. The reds have finished roaring, but there's still some reasonably heavy ones considering what I thought we were going to get. And fallow are pretty weighing up quite nicely, and lots of deer heads by the looks. Heaps of rabbits and turkeys, so I think that especially the turkeys, the farmers are usually pretty happy to get rid of those. So.
Yeah, I hear quite a few possums this year as well. It sounds like people have been happy to get rid of those too.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that was one thing we used to have, and we stopped it for a while because there weren't very many around. And noticed a few on the road, so we thought we'd better chuck that back in the mix. So get rid of those too. Like you look at the pig side of things, you get a pig come out to the farm certain times of the year, they come out and they root up the ground. So for those that don't know, the pig goes out there, uses his nose to dig up the ground, eats the grubs and the worms underneath. And for a farmer, that usually means that not only is the soil disturbed, especially if you've got a crop or a new grass paddock, but it also means that particular area will quite often grow back in thistles or all sorts of weeds. So it's a little bit troublesome in that way. Lambing time, you'll often find you'll get a sow with suckers on her. She's hungry. It's a horrible, miserable cold night, and a newborn lamb is a really easy dinner. So that's another one that we actually have farms out here that have noticed paddocks, their dotting tallies are quite significantly affected along certain places because of the pigs. Deer, they can actually do a bit of damage to a fence too. Fallow actually push through a fence, so they damage fences, they jump into your new grass paddocks. I have one at home that is getting eaten by deer, probably as we speak. And so they eat a lot of your grass. You put the time and effort into growing that stuff, and those animals turn up. It's all nice and well getting something for the freezer, but sometimes some of the numbers are really big. Like they're really, really big. They do a lot of damage. And it's nice to see them around, and I think every hunter would say it's cool to have a few, but sometimes the numbers just get too much. And possums, along with your deer and your pigs, spread TB, tuberculosis, and me as a farmer doesn't want that going through my cattle. I don't want to sell that product. We take pride in what we grow, and you don't want TB reactors on your farm and your cows. So that's another one. Probably every animal here probably eats grass in one way, shape or form. So
good to get rid of them.
Good to get rid of them. Yeah, still nice to have a few, and we do manage it. We don't get silly. No one gets silly about it.
And I hear 350 entrants this year?
Just shy of that, I think, about like 320 something odd. So I haven't actually heard the numbers definitely, but it's good turnout, and it's good to have that sort of numbers again. So keeps the chopper healthy.
Last year, they helped raise $6,000 for the local rescue helicopter. Aircrew officer Waka Rimini operates the winch on the rescue helicopter. He's a regular visitor in Pongaroar.
So the last few years, the Pongaroar pub and Abbey and her crew have been been organising this type of hunt, and keen hunter myself. I was happy once I came on board with the Grassroots Rescue Helicopter. I pretty much volunteered to come on out and show my support to pretty much this whole sort of event. Bearing in mind that we fly out here quite often from the Manawatu. We come out here. I help train some of the St. John personnel here as well when I used to work for them. So I sort of got a bit of a love for the East Coast side of things, and especially the rural sort of with my wife's family who got a farm over in Alfreton.
What are the sort of call-outs you see in rural, when you come out to the rural areas, to the farms, what are the sort of jobs you might be called for?
Yep, so I'm afraid it's a bit of a big range of when it comes to medical history, whether it might be cardiac involvement, but we also have like quad bike accidents. There's quite a rise at the moment as well. But it can be anything from somebody just not feeling well that needs to get to high medical care as quick as possible, right down to farm type accidents as well, which is quite tractor accidents, kids riding around on their motorbikes and stuff like that as well. We've had a few people getting whacked up with the bulls, rams, crazy rams. So yeah, sort of it's a big range, but it's quite important that it will take probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours for an ambulance to get out here if available. So with our chopper, we can be out here within 16 minutes.
Since 2011, the event has raised about $36,000 for the rescue helicopter. It's an essential but costly service.
Yeah, for the fundraising, like this type of funds that can go through, not just for operating off the helicopter, but our equipment. So just our helmets themselves that we wear, are $3,500 just for a set of helmet. Then you've got all the other technical side of things with our syringe drivers, our defibrillators, just the bags, the little called bean bag that we put patients on that may be suffering from spinal injuries. They're just like a specialist type of equipment that we hold in our helicopter that sometimes the ambulances don't hold. So that sort of equipment, and just our winch equipment as well, which is pretty important. Some of the farmers, hunters, trampers all get themselves into some pretty funny type sort of areas up in the Pukatois or up in the Tararuas. Our winch comes into play then. So that's probably our specialty as well, is to be able to get people out of the sort of ugly situations.
After a long day, it's finally time for the prize giving, and time to find out who brought in the biggest stag.
Just about ready to go with our prize giving.
This year's event saw about $13,000 raised for the Grassroots Rescue Helicopter. Over the course of the weekend, competitors made a solid dent into local pest populations too, with 43 red stags, 52 fallow buck, 23 boars, 34 goats, 51 turkeys, 51 hares, 22 rabbits, and 34 possums brought in to be weighed. Not bad. There were plenty of prizes too, with $200 awarded for the heaviest red, fallow or boar.
120 kilos, big spark. And our heaviest red stag was actually the same weight as Ben's. Rules of the competition said...
This year's winner of the heaviest stag will be familiar.
So well done to Marama Piti.
Marama Kariana.
120 kilo red stag, brought in first thing today. Well done to Ben and Marama. Get this red stag.
Ka pai marama. Janina also spoke to Pongaroar event organiser Abbey Maher, Waka Rimini from the Grassroots Helicopter, Jason and Sid Elmers and Peter Sorensen.